Yo, what's going on, guys? It's Envy. Now, today we're here for a mid-lane I2g tier list. Now, I've seen Jetman do these tier lists, right, with his kind of versus alpha team, and I was kind of like, maybe I should do one. So right now, I've taken a list of players that have played in the last couple of stretch of a couple months in the events, right? Not all of them I deem great, but again, you gotta have 8 players, you know. Um, so I think we start at number 8, and we work our way down. So at number 8, right? I have Braden. You know, he was a support main when I met him. Now he's becoming a solid iron to gold mid laner, but I do think he still has a lot of work to do, especially with the fact that at the moment he can only play Galio, which is pretty much just a band-aid champion. Now, number 7's a bit interesting, because you start getting into the nitty-gritty of, well, is he really above him or above him? Now, I do think on any given day, given the right matchup, any of these players ranging from 5 to 8 can beat each other. But you give them a bad matchup, and shit might come crumbling down. So at number 7, I have Morgana One Trick. Now, I don't think he's as good as other people say that he is. You know, I've seen him play for long enough, and I just haven't been impressed. Now I kind of have to exclude ulti from this list, and this is mainly because I haven't seen him play mid very much, at least not recently. Because if I've been on this team, I've been mid, and when he was playing on a wheel team, and the wheel team just doesn't really do much. Now Trashcan played a lot of mid during that time on that wheel team, which is why he is still here. But the same can be said for Hirogi about that wheel team. So they're both excluded from this mid lane only tier list. So at number 6, we will take Lyuna from one of the MCOM teams. Now, I laned into them. Didn't really see too much special. Just a standard steady mid laner. So if we quickly move on, at number 5, we've got Bucking. Now everyone knows him for Nico. That's pretty much the only champion when you think of him that's what you see, which was very, very bad. But when he gets that Nico, he is very, very capable of taking the game over. Not that it happens all the time, but it has happened. So that's why Bucking's at 5. Now here's where it starts to get good, right? Because we remove ulti from this list and Hirogi, because they both play nothing but fill pretty much. So does Trashcan, but he's played a lot more mid. So we've got 4 spots, right? And we've got 9 names. 9 names for 4 spots. Which means people are going to be left off this list. So we're removing Wicked from this list. I think he slots in at maybe 12 because he has improved so much since the first time I met him. Fudge, all I've seen him do is grief his team when he's been playing with them. So that puts us down to 7 names. Flame Spitter I don't think is good enough when playing into better players. When you think of him, you think of Fizz, and that's about it. So we're going to take him off the list, which puts us down to 6. Captain Sneaky played a lot of AD carry. I don't even think he's that good of a mid laner when he's playing mid. So that puts us down to 5. Now, at number 4, we're going to put Orphans. Now, I do think Orphans has gotten better as a player. If he can get his hands on Akali, or even the likes of a Diana, with the right jungler, they can put mid laners into the ground. But I do think he requires a lot of the resources, and sometimes it just doesn't even pay off, which is a very, very bad thing. Right, now at number 3, we have a tie, because we've got good vibrations and Trash Can V. Now, this is here because they both play 2 very different styles, but are both really good at their styles. Trash Can is a jack of all trades, right? He will pull out anything at any time, and there's a good chance he beats you on it. Now, when you have very good teammates, it's very hard to see the level of a player, right? So for instance, Vibrations hasn't had very good teammates. You know, you can chalk that down to attitude or whatever you want to say. You put Vibrations with Trash Can's teammates, he probably looks better than what he has looked. But I do think what's holding him back is that attitude, plus the fact that he has a very shallow champion pool. It is very bad, especially when you come play in 5s. The same as Orphans, only playing Assassins. The same with Flame Spitter. The fact that you're playing 5s, it does work sometimes. You know, you can even attest to the fact that my personal champion pool is hard done by Assassins, which is why they end up being my worst fucking matchups. But now if we move on, right, because I don't want to make this video too long, we've now got an interesting debate between G-Bear and CSO67. Now, I was just thinking about this. They both play 2 different styles. They both have very good teams around them. But I'm going to have to put Galaxy Bear at number 2. Because if you put Galaxy Bear on a worse team, I don't think he shines as brightly. Right, so, you know, if you take Jep out the equation, and you remove Shiny from that equation, even Sparky to a degree, I think he looks worse. There are games where he has popped off, right? If you, like, look back quite a while ago to, like, Game 2 of the Iron to Gold Rift Royale Finals, you know, he was the sole reason why his team didn't lose in 15 minutes. But he couldn't get over the hump of carrying that team, because that team is Jep and Shiny's team. Which is why we've got CSO67 at number 1, because his team plays around him. His team live and dies by him. There are times where he plays AD carry, but a lot of the time when he's playing mid, his team looks better when he's playing mid. You know, you kick Morgana One Trick out the fucking lineup because he runs it down, and CSO 67, you know, locks in some hyper scaling mid laner. You know, you get him to 30 minutes and he can win you the game off his team fighting and just really good positioning. Obviously, if his jungler's having connection issues, that's where it's gonna be worse for him. Now, I would like to point out, this is my opinion. This is my opinion based on the players I could remember that play, with a couple added in people who I didn't think would make the list anyway. That way, you know, we could have more numbers, and if I changed my mind. Now, let me know what you think in the comments. Obviously, I am not putting myself on my own tier list, because that is mad fucking greedy. Especially since I don't think I've played very well recently. Like, I think Orphan's got the better of me in the semis. G-Bear, as much as, you know, I could make the case of outside motives, G-Bear was playing better than me. I didn't have to play CSO 67, but he is my more favorable style to play into because we both play scale. And then the people at the 5 through 8, if I'm not looking to prove a point and I'm playing with respect, none of them can touch me. But again, not on my own list, and I do look forward to playing against some of you guys.